Hey there, boys and girls. Welcome to your Edpuzzle homework tonight, dealing with comparing fractions number 3. So yes, it's the third video we've done on comparing fractions, but we're going to take our prior understanding and apply it tonight to kind of go to the next level a little bit, because we're going to start something new. All right, so our target for tonight is I can compare common fractions with different denominators. So if the denominators are different, they're not going to be the same anymore, which means now we're going to have a different understanding of how to compare. And that different understanding is really going to come when we start looking at our length models. Okay? All right. Earlier, when we talked about comparing fractions, we talked about fractions that either have the same denominator, like they do here, they're both 4s, or the same numerators. Okay? So when I look at this comparison here, it says 2/4 is something to 3/4. And I could use a number line to help me with this. I could use my understanding of fractions with this, or I could use my length model, or we could also call it an area model, because you're trying to see how much space this takes up. Okay? Well, notice something. All of my pieces in both of these models take up the same amount of space, don't they? Yeah, they're all the same size because my denominators are both 4. And we said that if your denominators are the same, that means all of your pieces are the same size. Now, the only thing I got to look at here is, here I've only got 2 pieces, whereas down here I've got 3 pieces, okay? So I've definitely got more when it comes to, 3/4 is more because you have more pieces and they're all the same size. That's the big thing to remember. I could have more pieces with another example, but if they're not the same size, that's where we got to do a little bit more thinking, okay? In this example, denominators are the same, which means all of my pieces take up the same amount of space. Notice that orange piece is the same size as that green piece, okay? That orange piece fits down here. It also fits up here because all of the pieces are the same size, okay? Now what we're going to start getting into today is your numerators are no longer the same number. Neither are your denominators, okay? So that means your pieces aren't going to be the same size anymore, and you don't have the same number of pieces anymore, okay? But this fraction wall over here can help you, okay? And I call it a fraction wall because it really just looks like a bunch of bricks that have been stacked up on top of each other, kind of like a wall, okay? When I look at this fraction wall, I've got one big strip or one big piece at the top. That stands for one whole. Notice down below, it takes 2 pieces to make up the same size as that one whole, because really what I did was I cut that one whole in, I cut it in half. So that would be 2 pieces. Down here, it's like I took that whole and cut it into 3 pieces because they'd each be a third. And then I've got 4ths and 6ths and 12ths and so on and so on. So I can use this fraction wall to help me, okay? So I'm going to draw some lines here so we can see it a little bit better. I'm trying to compare 4/6 to 7/12. So I've got to figure out which one takes up more space. Well, notice all of my fractions or all of my pieces start on the same point, okay? Just like on a number line, they all start at the same point, okay? So here would be, if I stretch this out, that's 1/6. But remember, I got to go 4/6. So I got to go another piece, so that is 2/6. Another one would be 3/6. And my last one would be 4/6. And that's where that piece would end. So I know 4/6 starts here and ends over here. Okay, because 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 would really be 4/6. So now what I have to figure out is, where does 7/12 start and end? Well, just like over here, I'm going to use a different color. That's tough to see. 7/12 would start at the same point as all the other ones, and I'm going to stretch it out till I get to 7 of them. So this would be 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's where it ends. And I'm going to draw my ending point there, just like on a number line, okay? Which one goes farther, the red or the blue? Yeah, the red pieces go out farther, which means 4/6 goes farther than 7/12. So that means 4/6 must be greater than 7/12. Okay. So don't get these things mixed up. Just because this number over here is bigger than this number, and just because this bottom number is bigger than this bottom number, that doesn't mean this is going to be the bigger piece or the bigger part in this comparison. You've really got to go back and think about the size of your pieces and how many you have. Okay. Sixths are a lot bigger than twelfths. Okay. So let's try a couple of these moving forward. Use the fraction wall to help you. Okay, I'm going to give you two problems here at the end. Figure out what symbol goes inside of that comparison. Use the wall to help you. We'll go these tomorrow during class. Have a good night. Make smart choices.